going on, everyone? This is Mitch with SC Weather. Hope y'all been having a great day. This video, we're going to break down what could really potentially be a historic storm with historic cold to follow. I'm talking about Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, parts of Tennessee, parts of Alabama, Arkansas, Oklahoma. This is going to be just one of the wildest storms I've ever seen. I'm talking about snow in Dallas, not just snow falling, but snow falling maybe in the single digits to low teens. This is just going to be a crazy storm. So stick around. Definitely, if anybody's out there in Texas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, anything like that, I would love to hear what y'all end up seeing out of this as we break this down over the next couple days. So we're going to break everything down. If you guys have not subscribed, if I got any new viewers from Texas or anything like that, please hit that subscribe button. I talk weather in the entire eastern U.S., including the South. So we're going to break all this down, and so consider subscribing, liking the video if you'd like it. And thank y'all for tuning in tonight. It's definitely appreciated y'all following along. So let's just start from the top here. Look at the National Weather Service. We got warnings, advisories, all kinds of stuff. We still have a lingering ice storm warning in parts of eastern Kentucky. There's a lot going on. First off, we're going to start off by looking at the ambient weather. Basically, it's the temperature gradient. It shows temperatures, and all these little dots are actually ambient weather stations. That's the kind of weather station I have on my roof. And so I have all this stuff to really look at here. You can obviously tell, you got these beautiful colors right here kind of showing you the gradient, where the front has stopped or stalled, if you will. And honestly, I don't think it's going to move much more than this. You got portions of northeast Alabama who are locked into the 30s, and around Nashville, you're right around freezing. But the more west you get from here, of course, this thing's set up vertically here. Basically, whatever west you get, northwest, the colder it gets. Memphis, you've been locked in below freezing for days now, what it seems like. Dallas, you are below freezing right now. There was a terrible tragedy there a little earlier, just north of Fort Worth, where it was like about a 75, 80 piled up on the interstate. I think 5 people died from what I've heard, but the videos of it were just horrible. I pray for anybody seriously affected by that. That is just it was very hard to watch. But it is still locked up out here. It's cold. What's interesting here is Dallas will actually they'll modify a little bit as far as temperatures. They'll actually get above freezing tomorrow and probably the next day before the Arctic air mass reinforces itself out there. It is going to be insane. It's going to be a major winter storm, but not just temperatures at 30 degrees. They're going to be in the teens. There's a winter storm potential for Houston. Yes, you guys in Houston have the potential here. Shreveport, Little Rock, Dallas, Tupelo, Memphis, Jackson, all the way up to Nashville, Tennessee, even Huntsville. This is going to be close to a big-time freezing rain event. Basically, the closer you are to the actual frontal boundary, the higher chance you are to see more ice over snow. And once you get deeper into this colder air, you got more cold air, all layers of the atmosphere, you got all snow. So we're going to break down some National Weather Service, what they're saying for each area. So there is still winter storm warnings just south of Dallas for a lot of ice and sleet. Winter weather advisory is ongoing, but they got a cool little write-up here. This just blows my mind here. So what's crazy is, it's mentioning near blizzard conditions are possible in Dallas, in this entire area. Near blizzard conditions possible in northern Texas and the Dallas area. In the panhandle of Texas, it's a lot more common, but this is actually pretty rare for this area. 3 to 5 inches, that's a pretty big range, because there's 2 factors. How heavy is the snow going to fall? And 2, basically, what kind of snowfall ratios are you going to have when it's pouring down, snowing at 10 degrees or 15 degrees in Dallas? You are going to have some insane snowfall ratios. You're like 20 to 1. I don't even know what it's going to be. It's going to be super interesting. This area is going to be puking snow, but it's going to be bitterly cold at the same time. So, they have all this broken down online. Check it out for sure, because it's very interesting. We move to the Shreveport area. They're not really talking about it much, but this area is dealing with freezing drizzle already right now, and this area is going to get slammed by a winter storm. I'm going to be interested to see what the write-up is, and the National Weather Service in Shreveport, Louisiana is going to talk about how they're going to really describe this. Memphis, y'all been dealing with winter weather for a few days now, so y'all actually had some what I call thunder ice. Basically, it's freezing rain, but it's a thunderstorm with freezing rain. Y'all had some of that this morning. I tweeted about it. It's crazy. But like it says here, there is increasing confidence in a significant winter storm late Sunday into Monday. And then there's a chance, and we'll talk about this one too. This storm is going to move through the entire Mid-South, right, in Texas. But then there's going to be another storm later next week that's really been pretty consistent on the models. It's going to ride the Arctic boundary again and hit these same areas potentially. It is just wild. And we're sitting over here in the Carolinas and Georgia just like, yo, can you throw us a bone? Can you give us an inch of snow? Heck, some people would take ice, but man, it is just not budging. This Arctic boundary, as I showed here, is set up right here, and it don't want to budge. And as you can tell, it's been a spring-like day the last few days. My yard is actually starting to show them little springtime weeds right before the grass kicks in. It's really been starting to show it the last few days. But here's the latest GFS from this evening, and here we go. Here comes the big-time winter storm. There it is, right there. It's all snow for Dallas. You get a little bit more south of Dallas, you start to get more into ice. Now, GFS doesn't really show a lot of winter weather. We're getting all the way to Houston, but the Euro does. But check it out. The boundary's set up right here. First of all, you got this little wave that sets the tone of the storm. Basically, this will be a lot of little freezing rain and snow, but the whole storm gets cranking up. You got sleet, freezing rain, snow. It's going to be a wintry mess in northern Louisiana. We're really going to start breaking down totals in the videos coming up for you guys. But Memphis, a monster wave of winter precipitation is going to move through, a wintry mix of everything. And then this is the interesting part of the storm. You get into Mississippi and even Alabama. Low pressure's right here. It's riding the Arctic boundary. How much of an ice storm are you going to get in places of northern Alabama? And up into Dallas, up into Nashville. You look at the soundings right here. Let's look at the soundings for, let's see, the northwestern part of Alabama. And this would be for, I didn't look at the sound. But basically, it's 29 degrees. This is probably for Monday, obviously. Let me see, the date's the 16th. So, yeah, Monday getting into Tuesday. So, it's 29 degrees at the surface, right? This 0 degrees Celsius, that's 32 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So the line goes up like this, and this is how it goes. You notice it's 29 degrees, well below freezing at the surface, but notice how the temperatures go up and just above the atmosphere. It's because Arctic air is shallow, right? So shallow Arctic air at the surface is only a small area of super cold air. You get above us in these areas, it gets warmer. And it warms up above freezing. So this is a freezing rain sounding. And look at these DGZs. It's pouring freezing rain too in areas of Alabama. So it's an area even in Alabama that we have to watch. They're just nosed into the Arctic air. That this is going to potentially be a big deal for you guys too. Now, if you move a little bit deeper into the cold air, see around northern areas of Mississippi, look at the temperatures here, 18 degrees. Right, so that is, you got winter precipitation in Mississippi falling at 18 degrees. But this is probably more of a sleet sounding. You have a bunch of warm air on top. This is the 0 degree line. You see how it goes vertically? It doesn't go up, so it goes like this. So, yes, it does briefly go probably above freezing briefly at some layer of the atmosphere, but it has time to cool down fast. So this probably falls more at sleet, heavy sleet at 18 degrees. Ridiculous. So you move a little bit more into the cold air. This is probably going to be a snow sounding. See how the temperatures stay below freezing at all layers of the atmosphere. They stay below this 0 degree line. So soundings are interesting. It's actually something I'm still learning at. Winter soundings, I pretty much know what I'm talking about. Severe weather soundings, I'm always learning. Definitely learned a lot the last couple of years just from friends. So this is crazy. I mean, really is. Unfortunately for the Carolinas, this low pressure moves right over the Carolinas. But this is a major winter storm, and we go a little bit further in time, and another winter storm moves through. We'll talk about that one after we get through the first one. But what's really interesting is you back this up here where the core of the winter storm is over Dallas. So when is that? That is Monday morning. So at hour 90, you go to hour 90 on the temperatures, and look at the temperatures. This is when the snow is right on top of Dallas. So it is snowing in the low teens in Dallas. There's winter weather falling deep into Texas in the upper teens, in the 20s. You go back to this frame right here. Look at the winter weather breaking out into northern Louisiana in the 20s, in the low 20s. And this is just a stout boundary of cold air. And I would love to drive out here and just drive into this Arctic front and just watch my car temperature drop. It's just insane. This is another example of it. This is high temperatures Monday. Look at the boundary. So that area of northern Alabama is nosed into that Arctic air. So if you live in northern Alabama, and definitely probably 75% of Mississippi, besides the far southern end of Mississippi, if you know even that area of Alabama, guys, y'all got to watch out for an ice storm. It's just going to make a difference of a few miles. So what's crazy is after the storm moves through, the bitter cold air that moves into Texas and Arkansas and Alabama, even Mississippi, areas of Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, even northern areas of Louisiana, massive chunk of Texas is going to be in the single digits. Dallas might hear 0 degrees with a amplified snowpack and cold air on top. It's going to amplify the cold air. Insane. The historic cold after a historic winter storm potentially. It's fascinating to me being into weather. So GFS snowfall totals, this accounts for ice too. I don't really focus too much on this. This is overdone right here, but this just shows you the Southeast Ridge and how we're just getting screwed here in South Carolina and Georgia, parts of Alabama, North Carolina, obviously Florida. Florida's baking like it's spring break down there. But this is the Euro. I want to show you this. This is interesting because the Euro actually dips the winter weather all the way into the Gulf of Mexico. Here you go. Here's the storm Monday morning for Dallas when it's going to be the biggest for Texas in general. It gets going. Big freezing rain threat. This wants to make Shreveport areas and Shreveport like all snow. Definitely want to get into that snow area, but it doesn't matter because in this area right in here, all the winter weather that's going to be falling is going to be falling in ridiculously cold temperatures. So everything is freezing on contact. If you don't have anything on the trees or anything, guys, if you live in Dallas, you're basically going to get instant accumulation. I mean, it's going to snow for 2 or 3 minutes and everything's going to be white. It's going to be a dry snow. I mean, you're not going to be able to build a snowman out of it. It's crazy how cold it's going to, that this storm is going to fall in is what's really just blowing my mind, really. It's just this Arctic boundary that's set up. And here it is, Memphis, another ice storm potentially. Hopefully y'all can get nosed into it where it's just snow. So, but look at the northwest areas of Alabama. That is all freezing rain, the entire storm. And then potentially changing to snow in these areas. Come on, baby, just do what you got to do. And so this is really impressive, right? So it's just the cold temperatures. Then here comes another storm right behind it. Heavy freezing rain. And I don't know if this is going to happen. The second storm is going to be even more fascinating because if it hits Memphis again, that'll be a week straight, over a week straight of winter weather on nearly every day for areas of, baby, what you got? Come on. Okay, baby. For areas of Memphis. It's crazy. This is just a major, massive, historic potential event, really, for these areas. So you look at the snowfall totals. One thing I want y'all to focus on here is it says 10-to-1 ratio, right? So, yes, it only shows 3 to 4 inches around Dallas, but this is for 10-to-1 snowfall ratio. This snow is not going to be falling at 10-to-1. Like I said, the snow is going to be falling at around 10 to 15 degrees in Dallas, for example. Maybe a little bit warmer just south of Dallas, if you would even call it warm. So I would say it's closer to 5 to 6 to maybe 7 inches for areas of northern Texas. Oklahoma, the snowfall ratios is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be snowing in the single digits. So Oklahoma City, that's why you've seen all these crazy posts about Oklahoma. It's insane the amount of snow they might end up getting. It's just wild. And this is the European. You look at the ensembles. Yeah, they're not crazy, but look at this huge swath of winter weather off the ensembles through this coming Tuesday morning. Just you can see where the Arctic boundary is. This event is just it's really just a cool thing to watch, even when you're in the outside looking in. You know, it's crazy. And this is the GFS ensembles basically. So it's inevitable at this point. You're going to get a major winter storm in Dallas, in Texas. Major winter storm, probably half of the state of Louisiana, obviously the northern and western half. Major winter storm in Mississippi, half of Tennessee, all of Arkansas, and then a small portion of Alabama. That's going to be a wild card for a potential ice storm. So any viewers out there in northern Alabama, and even central Alabama, especially if you're in central Alabama, especially if you're like west of Birmingham, watch out for this, because you're going to be right on the boundary. The Arctic front can make a tick a little bit more south, and then you're locked in to 30 degrees and freezing rain. If you're on the other side, you might be sitting at 34 degrees in rain. It's just an impressive event, and wherever you're sitting, you could go from a major ice storm to just rain. And obviously, the more west you get, the more it goes into more of a sleet threat, then it changes to more of a snow threat. But insane storm here, very impressive storm. I'm very excited to kind of watch. This is a dangerous storm, you know, but the NAM, this is as far out as it goes. It shows that little first wave. This first wave will be a little wild card too. It'll basically be a tone setter to the storm. It'll drop some freezing rain, sleet in Dallas. It'll probably already coat the roadways. And then here comes the Big Daddy shaping up here. It doesn't look that crazy impressive. It just looks really large in general. But you're getting the storm in the short range, and you have model confidence across the board. You know that this is going to be something major. This is ice 72 hours out. We'll get more in the range of this, especially getting into tomorrow, but it's definitely showing some glazing going on for all areas. But the Arctic boundary set up. Let's see if this can pull up. My internet hasn't bogged out on me here. But the Arctic boundary set up. So, like I said, you're in this area of Alabama. This is a wild card. So Huntsville points west. This area right here in Alabama, potential ice storm. You get deeper into Mississippi, you're in an ice storm too potential, like down to Jackson. Jackson's a big area to watch. You get more closer to Memphis, for example, it's going to be probably more of a mixture of snow and sleet. But Tupelo, I might have said that wrong, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not the best pronouncer here. But Florence, Alabama. That's a good example, a good town that just popped up here that could be right in that northwestern part of the state that could really get an ice storm here. I really think so. Atlanta, you guys, y'all are close. You can almost sniff the Arctic front. But if you want to see something, you better drive west. But I don't recommend driving in this. This is going to be a tough one to chase for anybody. I would love to chase this storm, but this is going to be insane. So Memphis, I just can't say it enough. So much wintry weather is going to be falling at such cold temperatures in the south. It's unheard of. It's insane. What's even crazier is that it's already going to have been cold in these areas, so the ground is going to be rock solid. It's going to be cold. Things are going to accumulate immediately. So you guys stay safe out there, and I'll keep you updated on this storm because this is going to be a wild one. So thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a great night.